Today I'm going to be creating a card featuring some beautiful pastel inks from Simon Says Stamp. I don't normally gravitate towards pastels, but the results really surprised me. To see this card come together, stick around. It's coming up next. Here's a look at the pastel inks I'm going to use for today's card, and these are a unique formula, more similar to an oxide really, because they have a creamier consistency. They blend beautifully. So let's have a few other things, which include my Glow On Word and Shadow die, and then I'm using this suite of Sunburst products to create the card: stencil, stamp, and die. To get started, we are going to stamp first. And I'm going to take this sunburst and just place it at the top of this panel. I'm actually going to be cutting this out, so it doesn't really matter where it's placed, but I do need to prime the stamp a little as it's brand new. I've not used this, so I'll just use my stamp conditioning eraser to kind of get that surface primed and ready for ink. Now I will powder up my cardstock with anti-static powder, and then we're going to use embossing ink to stamp the image. I'm going to be using some silver embossing powder for this today. So I'm giving this a nice press, and I will stamp this 2 times to get a nice impression. So there's lots of ink that will grab my embossing powder. So once that's transferred, I'll go ahead and get set up to add the powder to the paper. This is the ultra fine silver, which I think is going to look really nice with soft pastels, and you could use gold as well. I just thought this would be a really pretty look, especially because I'm going to use silver for my greeting as well. So I'm going to clean up a little extra powder, just funnel that back in, and I always keep a Swiffer cloth handy. You can see that over on the side to wipe off any powder on my surface. But here I'm also just going to brush away a few little specks that I can see but aren't really showing up on camera. Then I'll get my heat tool nice and warm and melt the powder. So then I have this beautiful burst of little squiggly lines and dots and straight lines. And now I'm going to use the stencil to add color to the project. So I'm pressing this down onto a craft tacky mat, and I'm going to line the stencil up right in the circle. I'm going to have to use a little low-tack tape to hold it in place because it's not going to extend out to the sticky mat, but it's got these little paws on it, and that can help me very quickly align the design. So I think that's really cute when there are little alignment aids. I'm not worried about the edges of this panel because I'm going to be cutting this out, but you certainly could mask off the edges of the stencil if you wanted to create a 1-layer card that wasn't cut out. I'll lift this up and we have our first layer down. I will be cleaning with a little spritz of rubbing alcohol every stencil once I'm done, and I'm using my blending brushes that I typically use with my oxide inks, and all I'm doing is giving them a good wipe down before I use them with the pastels. One of the things you can do is you can also use a little spritz of rubbing alcohol, put it onto the cloth itself, and then rub your brush over it. It also makes the bristles feel softer, but it is a gentle way to clean and get ready for the next color. So then when I bring this in, I know we have a light color, and this is the yellow. You can also do that on a paper towel or a kitchen towel. Then it's really easy to see how much ink is actually on your brush before you go with a pale yellow. So we'll repeat, coming in with the pastel green and going all the way around. And it is interesting because I don't gravitate towards pastels. I never really have, and certainly not in card making. I love to blend something out and make it soft, but I have never started with a pastel ink. Really liking the way this looks. Another thing with this set, you don't have to fill in every band of the stencil. It could look really cool to leave 1 or even 2 of them open to have more white space, but I decided I wanted to see all of these inks together because they really do follow in rainbow order. And that's what it looks like. Now I'm taking another cloth and just going over the embossing to wipe any ink that may have pooled on top of the slick surface. Then I'll take this coordinating die, line it up, and cut this out for my card project. Ran that through, and now I have this lovely circle. Looking good. All right, moving on. Now I've got a note card here, and it's pre-scored. Well, I scored it, but I want to add a glowy background as a home for my little circular element. So I'm using one of my that's actually a stamp wheel alignment guide, but I love it for masking because you just clean it off and you're good to go. Now I did my greeting. It's got a few layers of cardstock for the shadow layer, a few layers of white for the glow on, and then the matte silver for the greeting itself. But here, I'm going to blend out a little glowy circle. And this is where the pastel inks really shine because of that creamy consistency. They blend beautifully, very smooth, very easy to shear it out. I'm trying to stay away from the very hard edge of either side because this is the effect I want, just a soft glow all the way around the circle element. And it was so easy to achieve this and to do it right onto the note card itself. Isn't that pretty? It will just, well, it will glow. And what does my greeting say? Glow on. Well, there's a purpose, right? Okay, then I will fold this down, give it a nice press with my bone folder. I don't know why I did it on a sticky mat because it really sticks. It was a little hard to get up, but I thought it would be fun to add a little more to this card. So I grabbed the re-inkers for these pads, and I'm going to use these for spatter mediums. Now, you can also just smush your ink pad down, add a little water that way. I wanted to try this, and what's interesting is the formulation is a little different than a standard dye ink. So the colors don't get wet. They don't want to take water as easily because I think there might be some oil in there. Either way, it did spatter on some nice color, but it's just a different kind of texture. I've always wanted to incorporate more of my re-inkers into projects, and I don't. I usually just let them sit until they are called upon to re-ink a pad. But for this, it actually worked pretty well. So picking up all these colors, splattering them on, and just creating a really playful background. And I think it's going to look really pretty for the finished card. But again, you could also just smush down a pad and give that a try. But the nice thing about this, all of the colors are going to work beautifully. Now, because I want more silver shine, I am going to take the sentiment strips, these are easy strips, that I designed to go with the glow on greeting. They come both in white and black. And I'm going to use just a basic fancy foil and my fuse. I've got it heated up, putting it in and running it through because you can foil easy strips. Now, I don't always have the best luck with this. Like it's not necessarily like a flawless foiling for me. I think I might need more pressure, but it worked today. And so what I have are all of these shiny greetings that I can use on this card. I just thought it would look really fun to have more silver and not just leave them as black and white. But you can see that shine. And now I'll just use the Easy Strips coordinating die. You run it through, it cuts them all out at once. And here is the finished card. I'm adding some silver sequins, the star shine. Got a little boop. There we go. I just think this turned out really well, and it kind of opened my eyes to pastels. Maybe I've been missing the pastel boat on this. But the finished card, I think, is just a delight. So I think once this last one is on, our card is finished. And now let's do a quick design review. All right, shall we? do a quick design review, and the voiceover I recorded is because they are doing construction in my backyard, and I don't know how much picks up on the mic, so this is actually me just talking directly into my mic live. Now, I want to overlay this, and there's not much to talk about with the design itself. It's very center weighted, right? Everything is basically clunked down right in the middle, but we do have a few things going on design-wise. Number one, we repeat silver embossing, silver cardstock, the matte silver, and the little bits of silver on the starshine, and the silver foil here. So all of these little glowy elements are basically the same. We repeat all of our colors with the spatter and the soft blend on the outside, and that just sort of makes everything feel like it's nestled in, but also kind of flowing out in this design. My sequin placement is actually, is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's actually an even number, but I kind of wanted it that way so that it felt balanced around the circle. One thing I wanted to show you, for those of you who enjoy making 5x7 cards, we now have, and I haven't even opened this yet because I don't make a lot of 5x7 cards, but we now have that overlay grid here. The CZ Design, we call it the USA 7, and that is a 5x7 overlay that you can use. Let me see the difference in size here when you are reviewing a 5x7 card that you create. So that wraps up the design review for this particular card project. You can find links to all of the products I used in today's video in the YouTube description box. I'll also have a blog post, and there will be photos and more details over there as well. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, I'd love to have you, so please hit that subscribe button and be sure to hit the notification bell so that you don't miss the next time I post. Here is another video you may be interested in checking out, and I'll see you in that clip. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.